Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Travel Log Podcast. This week, we are so excited to be joined by Martina Arezzi. Martina is a tour guide extraordinaire in Florence, Italy. Martina's tour company, SunFlorence Tours, offers a variety of tours in Florence and surrounding areas, and we are confident you will find one that matches your interest. Among other things, Martina has a focus on history, wine, famous local families, food, and local markets. We are so excited to discuss your background, your business, and your tour options. So, welcome to the show, Martina.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to meet you. Thank you, Megan. Good
Thank
introduction.
you. So, our first question, you grew up in Tuscany. To us Canadians, and I'm sure many people around the world listening, that sounds magical. Talk to us about growing up in Tuscany and that was like, and how did that sort of help shape you as a person going out into the world after that?
Yeah, living in Tuscany, it's like living in a timeless place. It's like living in a painting. That's really true. We wake up and we are surrounded by beauty. So I'm very lucky. I'm glad I grew up in Tuscany. I actually grew up in the province of Siena, which is the southern part of Tuscany, which is the very famous Val d'Orcia area, very famous for wine. Then I moved to Florence 15, 17 years ago already. So I mean, still a very good city in Tuscany. And I think this shaped me as a person who likes a slow life. We love the very small things of life, like enjoying glass of wines. And we have a deep connection with nature, with good food, with the changing of the seasons. So we always wait for the that specific fruit which comes in June, and then we wait for the next June to get that same. October we have chestnuts. So we love these things, and the history, the people. I think this is very important for my job.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds magical and it sounds so different from our way of life here in Canada. And it honestly sounds like yeah, like magical, like we said already.
Yeah,
I was actually secretly hoping you'd be like, well, it was just a regular growing up, etc. But it does sound as dreamy as I thought it would.
yeah, we have I think smaller. It's the key word because we have small classes when we go to school. We have classes that are like
Mhm.
15, 20 maximum people. You know everybody. It's a small village. I grew up in a village which is 6,000 inhabitants. It's like a family, and we all know
Yeah.
each other's. Then in my town, for example, there was a kind of siesta. Like at 1:30, everybody close and they
Mhm.
go home. They have lunch together. I grew up having lunch with my family, with my parents, and also with my grandparents, and then everybody back to work. Me doing my homework and then preparing to go to school the next day. We had very good hair, like fresh hair. Uh, Landscapes are magical. I live close to a mountain, which is in the southern part of
Mhm.
Tuscany, Amiata. So we have hot springs. That's
Oh,
amazing.
nice.
Or we have a group of friends since we are child. We grew up like that, and then I moved to Florence. It felt like a countryside, small town person moving to New York. Wow, big doors, big buildings. Now I know that
Mhm.
it's not building, not big for you, but for me it was like wow, huge door, Renaissance palaces, big buildings. Uh, there's a stadium, and it felt like moving into a big town. I moved for the university.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Well, that leads very well, I mean, into the next question as well, because your education history is super interesting. So you graduated with languages, literature, and international studies, and later earned a degree in European and American languages and literature. So your research focused on gender studies and South American women's literature, and eventually led to you teaching Spanish and English in Italian high schools. So, what was that experience of teaching like for you? And how do you feel, if it did, that that helped to lead you toward a career of being a tour guide and teaching tourists about your home country and your history of your country?
Absolutely. I'm that kind of person who always wanted to be a tour guide. Sometimes tour guiding, it's a plan B for somebody. It's like my dream. Because since I like 3 years old, 4 years old, I'm talking a lot in person. And I think this was written in my destiny somehow. 'Cause I didn't know what I wanted to do precisely, but I always wanted to teach. I love to teach at school. My mom, she's a teacher. For a long time, I thought I would be a professor, would teach. But I didn't know what. Like, I love literature, and I also love the foreign languages, and I love art. So somehow everything was settled because now it's what I do. Like, I teach using art and talking in foreign languages. So it's perfect. 'Cause, I love to work with tourists. I meet every day different people. Honestly, before, when there were less people in Florence, and tour guides were mainly working half of the year. So that's why I wanted to teach. I wanted to teach half a year, and then I wanted to be a tour guide for half a year. I I spent few years teaching, and the experience is very challenging, but also rewarding. So you can construct relation with students that last for longer than the relation that you build with a person which is visiting Florence for 1 day and
Right.
leaving. So it's very
Right.
different because you grew up together. Mm, This is more satisfying, but also talking with tourists that are obviously mother tongue. I mean, you learn more because I mainly speak Spanish, so Spanish is my main language. Well, Italian, I'm Italian, but I've studied Spanish languages. Let's say teaching shaped my skills of changing a language or contents according to who's listening.
Mhm.
If you have teenagers or if you have children in your tour, if you have adults or people that are maybe they have a degree in history of art, it's very different the way you explain, the way you talk. So, see, this trained me to adjust according to the person
Yeah.
that I'm talking with. And I've studied South Americans languages, especially literatures written by women. So this is because I always had this interest for different points of view. I love to have more points of view, and I love the point of view of people that usually are not um, so much, they don't speak loud. Okay, so it is
Mhm.
usually women.
Yeah.
And that's so interesting because there's a word with literature.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I think that it's really important as people that we take into account a lot of different points of view. And unfortunately, some people don't, but it's really amazing to see you out there doing that. So, talk to us about what you had to do to become a tour guide. Was there any like education or training that you had to do before you became a tour guide?
Yeah, in Italy, becoming a licensed tour guide requires passing a rigorous exam, and you need extensive studies in art history, archaeology, local heritage, also food culture. There's a lot to study. So
Yeah.
after the university, I had studied for 1 year for being prepared for passing the exam. So when I took the exam, it was a big, long exam. It requires a big preparation. And then I became a tour guide. I was already a tour leader.
Okay.
But I also passed the exam for being tour leader before being tour guide because it was easier because I did at university 2 different foreign languages. So I just had to do an upgrade of that, passing an exam, and I became a tour leader. Tour guiding is much more difficult, of course, because you need to explain and to know a lot. So luckily, there's an exam because this is guaranteeing when you have the license that the guide knows what's talking about. And in Italy, there's a lot to talk about. So luckily, we have the exams that are guaranteeing you that you are licensed. See, the preparation was demanding, but it's also incredibly rewarding. I mean, it gave me a solid foundation to speak with both knowledge and passion as well.
I think that's also great though for people who are coming to Italy and want to do tours with licensed tour guides. You know, you're getting the true history, the good information, people that actually have a true interest and have made it their career, not someone who has just decided a few weeks ago this is what they'd like to do, so they'll give you a tour. But you've really put the hard work in, and it really makes it's a high industry standard, it sounds like.
We're struggling against illegal tour guides, of course, because in Italy, you can
Right.
imagine for a long time the exam was not available. Now there will be a new exam soon. We still don't know, it's a state exam, so people are studying a lot and they're getting ready a lot. I mean, if you don't want to be a tour guide, I mean, it's easy to not take the exam, of course. So
Sure.
if you, I mean, you don't really want to be a tour guide, that's why it's important that you have patience, because it's really difficult to get the license. So whoever has
Mhm.
the license, it means that it passed through all these steps. So it's guaranteeing that you will find a person which is passionate and knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that's amazing. So after you passed the exam, how long did it take you to create your company, SunFlorence Tours? How did that come about? And do you provide all of the tours? Do you have a team? How does that work?
Yes, let's say when I started at the beginning, it was just me. I decided to do private tours. Before there were many more group tours before COVID. There's still group tours, but I think
Right.
after COVID, people they really understood the importance of slowing down a little bit and having more space and not being in a group of 50 people. So I was already working, organizing my private tours. I was working as a tour guide for other companies as well. And then step by step
Okay.
through Instagram, especially, and also through my web page and contacts, I developed my own clients. I mean, that they contact me. So
Yeah.
I have my own clients and I have my own tours. I also have more tours than the ones I can manage. So now I have guides and colleagues that are sometimes helping me. And last year, I also took the qualification for being a technical director, which means that to open the agency. So now
Oh, wow.
we are
Right.
working on it.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Okay.
Things are moving quickly.
Thank you. See, so step by step, and basically, SunFlorence is born from an idea to share the real living Florence. Because with other agency, I was mainly working in Duomo, the Uffizi. You for sure know David, that very handsome guy to see, which is wonderful. But I really wanted to show the secret places, secret things, to show how we live, and that's the idea. So yes, I organize tour in the museum, which I love, but I also organize customized tours.
Yeah, I love that idea because yes, you could definitely want to see the things that everyone knows about, but I always feel like a tour or experience is much more special if it's sort of like an inside scoop or places that not everyone goes to. So I think that that makes it very special. So that's really great. Now, I discovered you and your tour company through your videos with Harold Balder. My husband and I have watched his videos for years now. So, my burning question is, how did you come to know Harold, and what impact do you feel this has had on your tour business? I mean, I'm happy to know you through that, so this is definitely part of that. But I'd love to know sort of how he found you, or you found him, or how that came to be, and then what effects that has had.
Well, it's changed my life, my career. Absolutely, was it's obviously one of the most important moments of my career. Because when he found me, I was working with other tour agencies, tour companies, and I had few private clients, also some private clients coming from my page, and he's the one of this person who came through the page. I think we
Okay.
met in 2019 in Florence, and I had no idea who was it. So for me, the random clients, and that was not even my best day and my in that summer, because I was not even feeling so well. So he asked me if he could record the tour, and I said no. no, you cannot record the tour. First of all, I'm shy. I mean, I've never done something like that. So now, step by step, I'm more comfortable. But at the beginning,
Mhm.
I had the camera right here. And I didn't know who was him, why he wanted to record the tour. And especially before COVID, it was not so normal to record the information because there was the idea of if I tell the things, why would you buy a tour? It was
Mhm.
an old way of thinking. So I was one of the first person recording things and spreading knowledge around. So obviously, it was something new. I said, no, you cannot record information, especially inside the town or within the special permission. And they said, no, but I want to record information about what does it mean being a tour guide. Okay, about me. So fine. And they actually and explained like I do in a tour. For me, it was weird because I was talking about me. I mean, we think about the town hall or city hall. And then he gave me this huge tip. And I thought, okay, maybe it's just for the video, or I didn't want to be tipped because I knew that I had to do more. I mean, I had to explain the building. He did not let me explain the building. So I just wanted to go away. And I gave him, I wanted to give him back the money. And then he basically obliged me to accept. He wants to tip me. So I said, okay, I will accept this money if you let me do other tours. So then we did also the market tour, which is the very famous video where he's preparing the panino with the tribe,
Yes.
cooking and eating tribe. And then we kept in touch a lot, especially after COVID, because lots of people arrived and then pandemic.
Mhm.
Then he came back, and when he came back, I was already working a lot with my private clients, thanks to him, and he brought lots of people to me. So this really made me independent from my agency, and I could develop more tour, and people were trusting me more because they watched the video. And I have to say that the greatest client came from him. Always have like young people, solo travelers or couples, people that love to travel, open minded. Then we did Rome. He came back, and when he came back, we were supposed to do Florence and Naples. He said Naples at the beginning. Then Harold is like a very knowledgeable, curious person. He knows a lot, very interesting, and but he has millions of ideas. Naples, and then we finished in Florence, full day. I was about to go home and said, okay, so we go to Roma, Rome, not in Naples. So I had to study like Naples, and I tried to study the entire city of Rome in one night. And you cannot study the entire city of Rome in one night. Yes, I can. But then it was just touring with a friend. I mean, now if there, I know Rome, I know what's other cities, but I'm based in Florence, of course. For when there's tours, I can obviously suggest my colleagues in Rome,
Right.
trusted colleagues in Rome, and obviously whenever I have a request, I send people to my dear colleagues there, or usually I work in Florence mainly, or in Tuscany in general.
Right. I saw that video. You did very well. So it was a great
Holding
film.
him for breaking all the Italian etiquettes with food.
Well, it is so funny that you say that because every time my husband and I have red wine, we stare each other in the eyes as we're drinking it very intensely because we learned that from your video. And then every time I think it's a cappuccino later in the day, I'm like, we shouldn't be doing this.
Thank you so much. You're saving an Italian every time that you can drink a cappuccino. Yeah, yeah.
And Harold did it on purpose, of course,
Yeah.
because he doesn't follow anyone's rules apparently. And then but the staring in the eyes is we do it every single time. So we have definitely learned that from you. But I mean, your chemistry is also very good. So yes, it happened organically. And I think it's amazing that you did not know who he was
Yeah.
and he was just another client. I think that's a beautiful start to that story. But also he's very playful, and I think that that also brings that out in sort of you when you're with him as well. So I think that the chemistry of the pair of you together was really good, and I think that's why it works, honestly, and that's why
is really
Mm.
authentic. I mean, everything that you
Yes.
see happened. So
Yeah.
there's not erasing the video or parts or changing it. His
Right.
life. What you see, it's real. So that's why also me, I started following him on YouTube, and every video he publishes, it's really amazing.
It is. Yeah, no, I agree. And you do have a wide variety of tour options as well. We've sort of alluded to that a little bit. So, can you talk to us about how you developed your tour options? Because there are a lot of things that people can choose from. So, I'd love to hear sort of how that process came to be.
Yeah, I started with classic tours because, of course, for my information, I did like many Fitzy tours. I met for the first time Harold in the Duomo tours, the Dome tour. I was climbing the Dome 3 times per day for years. Then the Academia, David, every day, at least 2-3 times per day. But then with my private clients, as I told you, I was trying to convince people to do kind of more particular experience, to go out from the crowd, especially to find that little bar, little spot, little window where nobody goes. And I noticed that people actually are looking for more flexible, customized experiences. So then I shift tour around specific different interests that basically are my interests. Also, as you mentioned, right, studied the women literature, so books written by women. And the first tour I created was Great Woman of Florence Tour, because I always
Wow.
mention names. We have so many names to mention: Lorenzo de Medici, Leonardo, Botticelli, Michelangelo, but behind them there were great women. The Medici family is full of great women who made history important, and they created Florence as we have Florence now. So we have to mention these women. And I noticed there were lots of women, but also lots of people that were interested in hearing more about the story. So it's walking tour, and we talk about the places dedicated to important women or artists. Also, we had incredible names, scientists, Margherita Hack, many names. Then also artisans. The artisans, this was born as an interest of showing to people what the real artisans do. So it's my community, it's my district, my city. I love to show the real person, not the scammers, but the person who really do that in their life for living. So how much they struggle to select the good quality, how much to guarantee good quality, how how much they have, with how much they have to know to learn to be able to make a belt, And so
Right.
I want to show this, which is less fancy, maybe because you don't go in a shop, but it's real. So that's how I developed, for example, this tour. It's a little different, but we go to talk to people that are friends that I trust, and now friends took time, and now trust, so they are happy to tell us what they do. Or the managed tour, maybe secrets. Everybody wants to hear about gossip, so I have told about all the secret stories and murders. Of course, wine. I love to drink wine. I'm a wine guide and logic guide. I took an exam also for that, being able to drink wine properly. And so I love to explain how to not to ruin the flavor of wine, mixing it with the wrong food. Or that's everything comes to like, oh, we should do that. So
And if you're interested in it, you're also going to be that much more passionate about it while you're talking to people. So it only makes sense that these are also your interests, because if someone is telling me something and I can tell they don't really care about it, it takes away from that
yeah,
experience. So that makes sense.
see, we make a we get angry. I mean, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. So, because if you don't believe that it's fantastic, it's not fantastic.
Right.
Right.
That's the idea. Your Fitzy gallery. I mean, when I work also in the classic tour, your Fitzy gallery or David, I'm in love with David. And explain David, like, I feel glad to be able to stay next to him and see him every day and explain him and talk about him. During COVID, this happened a lot. When I was at home, uh, I really noticed how much I miss being surrounded by beauty.
Hmm.
I mean, I always work surrounded by beauty. That's a privilege. Even if I'm outside, there's the Duomo next to me, or everything is so beautiful, and that's a privilege. And if you don't believe it, it's useless that you tell to people what you see, what you feel.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm wondering which of your tours are the most popular? Like, which ones do people book the most?
Well, the Medici tour, it's one of the most booked tours because Medici are, fascinating. There's murders, homicides, money, and intrigues. So people are fascinated by the Medici family. And also the classic tours like the Uffizi and the Accademia are must. So
Mhm.
actually everybody starts with an Uffizi tour or with an Accademia tour, especially if it's a first timer. And then maybe they add an extra food tour or a wine tour, something else. Food tours also are really popular now. People, they love to drink, they love to eat, they love to talk.
Yes.
So fun.
Is there a tour that you are a big fan of that people should be booking more, but they're not? Do you think there's a tour people are missing out on?
Yes, there's many. There's two museums in Florence. Well, many more than two, but let's say two museums in Florence that people usually they don't book so much, but are super interesting. For example, the Bargello Museum, which is an incredible place. It's the place where we had executions in medieval times, and so it's also the place where they were spending the last night before the execution, and it's full of masterpieces by Donatello, Michelangelo, Verrocchio. There's collections of ivory, ceramic, weapons. It's so interesting, and it's one of the oldest buildings we have in Florence. We're also churches like Santa Croce's Church. They should book more at the church. It's incredible. It's the place where we have the tombs of the Italian glories. There's Galileo Galilei, the tomb of Michelangelo. It's amazing. And maybe something about Dante. Dante is popular, but a walking tour about the places of Dante Alighieri, the writer of the Divine Comedy, should be booked more because it's full of
Mm.
tips, but also full of history, of course. Mm.
Excellent. Well, I think that's important for people to understand what else is out there because I'm sure that there are some that people are always booking but missing other good ones. And you've already alluded to this, but just to reiterate, is there a particular tour you feel is best for first timers to your city?
Yes, for the first timers, for sure. I always recommend my Love at the First Sight tour, which is a walking tour, kind of fast, 1 hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours, something like that. So not heavy at all, little walking of the center, where we explain the main sites of the center. But it's like a great introduction to understand the city properly. We talk about the history of Florence, the main characters of Florence, the main places in Florence, and some curiosities. And obviously, during the tour, I also show them where to eat, what to eat. This is a touristic place, this is a local place. And so, some suggestions, and especially, we talk about what to do in the next days. So, this is a great museum. These other things, this is some. The first thing you should do is this tour. In this way, if you have more days, then you will have an idea of what to do in the next days without wasting time.
That's such a good idea to book this on your first
And there's
day.
also
And
gelato on the
then,
way usually, so another good idea.
So gelato is always a good idea.
Yeah.
Now, to finish off the tours aspect of our chat, do you have what's your favorite tour that you do?
Well, I love this is a hard question. I knew you were about to ask me this question because all the clients ask me this question, but I don't know. It's like saying, "What's your favorite child?" I think people. Because I love classic tours, but I also love the tours I created so much. Um, it's like, what's your favorite wine? No, that's not a favorite wine. It's the wine. It's food with what you eat with. So it depends on people in the group. Obviously, I love treasure hunts with kids. So much fun. I love to when I have couples. I love to do the boat tour in the Arno River. So it's romantic. They enjoy the sunset, and it's really relaxing. When I have people that are interested in history, I love to Uffizi Gallery. I love to spend like 3 hours in the Uffizi Gallery with people listening to me. If they're not interested, of course, I prefer to drink wine with them or to other tours. It's difficult. I don't think I have a favorite tour.
I see that. Yeah, it's hard to pick.
Complicated, yeah.
So, what do you want people to know about Florence, and why should people choose to visit Florence when they're planning their trip to Italy?
Florence is an amazing city, for sure. It's still authentic. It's a city that is obviously easy to love because as soon as you arrive, it feels like living in a painting and being surrounded by paint. I just finished a tour with a client that was like, I don't believe this is real. He was saying when looking at the tour, it's like a painting for sure. So in some way, it's easy to enjoy and to understand, but it's also difficult and it requires attention. You have to pay attention. You have to respect the city so much to understand the city. So now we're struggling with over tourism and fast tourism. So people they should, in order to understand Florence and to enjoy Florence, they should stay a little bit more, like at least 3 days, 2 nights minimum, because only in this way you will understand that there's a community of people that is still defending the city of Florence and still loving the slow things in the city of Florence. So you will only if you stay more and if you love the city, you will see people waking up, reading the newspaper, getting a cappuccino, and then going to work. And that's authentic and not in all the other. Which in some other cities, of course, of Italy, you can still find this, but in Florence there is a community of artisans, there's a community of inhabitants, and we should defend them because they're struggling a lot now with the prices that are higher. Apartments are not findable. So, I mean, it's real. Florence, it's real. That's what people they should visit Florence.
Amazing. That sold. I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be there next. I'll be there next April. So
you.
I'll see you then.
Well,
So
yeah. Before midday, I will be make you welcome.
So you were in Thailand yourself fairly recently. So talk to us about that adventure. What was the favorite part of your trip? And had you been there before? So was this a repeat visit or your first time there?
First time in Asia.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, because tour guides have holidays when people work. So February,
Right.
I went with colleagues of mine because only other colleagues they had on holiday in February. So we wanted to go in a warm place. Like here it was winter, very cold. So we wanted to go somewhere where we could swim and relax a little bit, but also learn about history and a place full of one in history and with a great cultural heritage. So we decided to go to Thailand. I've never been there, so first time. Amazing. I loved so much Asia. I loved Thailand. We were shocked about the size of buildings and the number of people in there and how much the food is good, how much people are nice. And I was fascinated by Chiang Mai, especially in the north. It's full of temples, incredible temples and animals that I've never seen in my life. Beautiful.
Excellent. Yeah, I followed along with your pictures and it's really incredible. And you could tell you were doing the trip from a tour guide's perspective in terms of like what you were sharing with your audience was very relevant to really understand what Thailand is about. And I think that and so whether you meant to or not, or you're just being yourself, you could really tell that you were showing the parts that you felt were truly impacting you and that would impact others. So thank you so much for those
Thank
the
you
pictures.
for your feedback. Thank you. I was
Yeah.
nightmare of the other tour guides there. Tour guide traveling are the worst nightmare of other tour guides. Bad. I mean, we had a very good experience with a guide there that I recommended so much because she changed our entire journey there. I mean, since I'm a tour guide, I book tour guides. I can only understand if there's a tour guide telling me what's that place. But like that, it really changed my perspective. I think, yeah, I booked tours for 2 hours, 3 hours, 1 hour when I travel. There we booked a guide for 3 days, and wow, without her, it would have not been the same. So I really think I understood how my job it's important. People they tell me, with you it's different, with you it's different. Than now I'm used to here. With you it's different, yes. But now that I experiment this by myself, I really believe it. I mean, it gave me also lots of I had some feedbacks looking at that guide because I felt how it's like being guided.
Right.
So I understood I should do that or I should not do this anymore. So it was a good thing to take a guide for 3 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that for sure. Now, is this the first, or when you usually travel, do you usually take tours so that you can pick up tips and tricks, or was this the first time? I know you mentioned it's the first time you've probably done it for a longer period of time, but is taking tours something you typically do when you travel as well anyway?
Yes. Before, no. Before, I was like, oh, I can study by myself. And then, yeah, I can study, I can read. I'm a tour guide and all that. Before being tour guide, especially. And yes, I was doing it by myself. Then I became a tour guide, and why I have no time to maybe study. So I'm on holiday, just want to relax. I just want someone that is telling me what I usually tell people. I want to spend time, and then I would not, even if I'm studying, I would never know the things that the person living there tell me.
Yeah.
So I hired guides in museums, and the museum transformed completely with someone explaining you the paintings. Also, if I studied the paintings, with someone telling me about the gossips inside or the history or things that they know. It's optimizing your time. You have 2 hours, and in 2 hours you do the museum, and by yourself you just get lost. And then also, I think the point of view of a local, it's too much
Yeah.
important. So from the moment I took the license, I hired guides everywhere. I take
Yeah.
at least one tour everywhere I go.
Excellent.
Amazing. Yeah, I love that. Do you have any other favorite destinations that you've visited over the years?
See, so many.
Yeah.
For
I know,
one
it's hard to choose.
question, I love Spain. I love Spain so much. I know
Okay.
it's close by, but I lived in Spain for many years, and I love to go back to Spain to meet my friends. And I think Spain is a wonderful country, especially the south of Spain, Andalusia, where there's Granada, Sevilla. I love those cities, and speaking Spanish, I can really enter in contact with them. So it's less effort and funnier for me. So when I have time, I go there, especially because I travel in January, February. So I went to the
Right.
islands there, the Canary Islands. Another place I really love is Morocco. I went there to Morocco 2 years ago, and I fell in love with those colors and all the markets. It's really interesting, the food. And I'm also a big fan of the north of Europe, even if I don't look like, because I like a lot warm places, but also winter. Winter in Ireland, it's magical. Scotland, Ireland. You don't know what green is until you go to Ireland. You know, it's
Yeah,
magical.
I agree. Yeah, I was in Ireland in June, so not in winter, but the green, it's definitely the Emerald Isle. They're not lying when they when they say it for sure. So if someone wants to follow you, or most importantly, book a tour with you, where can people find you?
Well, they can contact me through Instagram. Instagram, my page is SunFlorence Tours, Martina. SunFlorence Tours, like sunflowers, because we are full of sunflowers. So SunFlorence Tours, easy to remember. And especially if they want to book a tour, they can contact me through email. So sunflorencetours at gmail.com. And if you don't know what tour you would like to book, you can check on my webpage, which is sunflorencetours.it.
Perfect. So We'll make sure that all of those links are in the show notes so that people can find you when they're heading to Florence. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for joining us. This was so fun, and I think both Megan and I are ready to plan a trip
Yeah.
to Italy
Waiting for
to
you here.
yes, amazing. So, as for us, you can find us on social media at Travel Mug Podcast and on our website, travelmugpodcast.com. You can support our show through Buy Me a Coffee, and you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And we'll chat with you listeners again next week. And thank you so much for coming
Thank you for
on,
inviting me.
Martina.
I'm
Thank
Yeah.
you.
glad to
Bye.
meet you. Thank you so much.